Hey guys, welcome to my shop. I'm Dave and I make knives. In this video, we're going to forge a chef knife from a ball bearing. This chef knife right here. Before we get into that, I just wanted to tie up some loose ends from the last project. I told you guys I was going to make a sheath for the pocket knife that I did in the last video. Well, I made the sheath, I recorded all the shots. The issue I ran into is when I was editing the footage, the lighting was really terrible in a whole bunch of the shots, so I just didn't feel good making that video. So before we get into the knife build, I just want to talk about the pocket knife and the sheath a little bit. So let's go do that. Okay, so it's time for the weigh-in, which was the basic goal of the knife build. I wanted to make something small and lightweight, comparable to this pocket knife. Some of you guys may have recognized this knife. It's the Benchmade Osborne 941. It's a super lightweight knife. So to make a knife as lightweight as this one, it was a really lofty goal, because if any of you guys have held this knife, you know exactly how light this thing is. So anyways, let's do the weight comparison. So we'll weigh the Benchmade first. This one weighs in at 69 grams. And then my pocket knife weighs in at 105. So almost 40 grams difference, but if we take it out of the sheath, then it actually does weigh less than the Benchmade, 64 grams. We are going to count the total weight of the knife in my pocket, so we're going to count the sheath, but I thought that was worth noting. 105 grams is still great though, compared to the last knife I made. I made this one a couple years ago and I was going to carry this with me everywhere I went. This one weighs 265 grams, so it's basically 2.5 times the weight of this one, or 4 times the weight, almost 4 times the weight of the Benchmade. So when I made this a couple years ago, I think I maybe carried it for like a few hours before I realized it was just too heavy and too bulky, especially when I was driving, like wearing a seatbelt. So how does it perform? So far, great. The majority of its use has been opening boxes, but I still get a little giddy every time I get to use it. I've been wearing this for a couple months now, and it definitely meets my needs, and I can see myself carrying it for a long time. Let me get a shot of me wearing it here. Yeah, here we go. It fits the pocket nicely. I can still carry keys. I can get my hand right in the pocket, get whatever I need. I hardly notice it's there as far as the weight goes. So yeah, I'm gonna call this a success. So here's the sheath up close. You guys, again, I apologize I didn't get to making the video for this sheath. I'm going to try to get those lighting issues worked out, and we're going to do a sheath making video soon. Alright, let's go make a knife. Looks really close. bad. It's Christmas. I should probably put some Christmas music in this video. this step out of all of them is the one step that makes me not want to make a knife. Like when I'm inside and I'm like, oh, I should start a new knife, I always think like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to hand sand it eventually. And here I am 8 hours in and I'm like, what am I doing? I gotta make a machine that does this for me. I've seen other people do it. And trust me, as I'm sitting here all day sanding, there's nothing else to do but think about shit. So I'm like, oh, how much time is it gonna take to make one of these sanding machines? And I'm like, well, like, subtract 8 hours worth of hand sanding on each knife build, and how much time does that save me? That's the real question. So even if I spent a whole week, even if I spent 40 hours straight making the sand, like 4 weeks, let's say 160 hours worth of work, the 160 hours, so 20 knives. After 20 knives, I'll have made my time back. So yeah, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, a couple very faint lines. Fuck it, I don't care. I'm moving on. Always wanted to try this. Oh. Okay, well, it's not that sharp. One day, mark my words, we're gonna cut a tomato like that.